up, guys? I'm an Infernoble Knight.
What is up, guys? Charles from Team COG coming at you guys here with an Infernoble deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed that skit right at the very beginning. I actually bought that armor so I could do skits for the channel since the theme of the channel is crusading. Now, with that being said, guys, I'm showcasing you guys my Infernoble list for this current format. This deck is really slept on. I'm really not going to lie. For some reason, out of all the videos out there, they go top 5 road decks or top 5 best decks of the format. This deck is not one of them, which blows my mind because the deck is still insanely busted. It does what it does very well. It's super consistent. It can hand rip. It still puts up, it's one of the few only decks that still put up Herald, which is crazy. But anyway, guys, please remember, if you guys want to help support the channel, hit that join button down below. Become a member if you guys enjoy any type of combo decks or anything like that. That is the place where you want to be. We discuss theory, we discuss combos, all that type of stuff. All down to be a member. All my members can vouch for you. So what are you guys waiting for? Join and become a member today. Support your boy here so that we can keep on crusading. And also, guys, if you guys don't want to do that or cannot, check out our new playmat, Ordained by the Flame, featuring King Charles. This mat also just released, so if you guys want to help support the channel, get this playmat, because once we reach, I believe we sell 8, I can go ahead and start working on the new 2-player World Legacy World Chalice playmat, which will incorporate 4 of the World Legacy themes in it. So, well, come on, guys, let's get this going so we can get started. But without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into the video. So, 43 card list. I had just, oh man, it was kind of rough. Just simply because you had to add in some hand traps for this current format, and it was just rough. But anyway, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys the list. We are rocking 3 Renaud. This I don't think will ever change. Renaud is the best, one of the best Infernoble cards that we have. Now, with that being said, this card allows you to retrieve a Fire Warrior or an equip spell from grave or banished on summon, and then if it is summoned by its own effect, it becomes a tuner, which is really good. That is crazy. That's one of our tuner extenders. That is crazy. Like, this deck has so many 1, 2, or 3 card combos, which I will showcase you guys in a video coming up soon. This deck just has so many combos, so there's gonna be tons of videos. Like, you can even go as far as showing combos with Armageddon Knight, showing combos with Doppel Warrior. There is just such a wide variety of combos that can be showed, and I do plan to showcase you guys. So those, and this next video coming up will be just a basic combo refresher, mostly showcasing 1, 2, 3 card combos. But there is a combo already out that shows Renaud, so I highly recommend checking it out. It's a 2-3 card combo featuring Warrior Extender plus Connector plus Renaud, and it allows you to play through the cards that beat this deck, which are impermanent Nebriu. So anyway, 3 Renaud, 3 Olivier. This man right here is really good. You pitch a Fire Warrior or an equip spell from hand or field to summon him, and he becomes a level 1. He is our tuner extender that allows us to play through our Isolde getting hand trapped, which, if you guys don't know, Isolde is practically just Meat Shield 101 for this deck. Isolde is just there to eat all the hand traps, and Isolde Hulk. Now, another thing, this guy has a cool effect. He can equip from the graveyard to a warrior. That warrior, whatever he's equipped to, can no longer be targeted, which is pretty nice, especially with the ending board that we try to shoot for, or that we practically always get to. Moving on for the final Infernoble, we are still rocking one Ogier. I am playing Patrick Hoban's Road to the King. I've been reading that book kind of off and on lately. 5 normal summons. If you play 2 Ogier, you're playing 6. 1 Ogier puts us down to 5 because you have the 3 Connector, the 4... if you count Aqua Dolphin, which Aqua Dolphin is a viable normal summon, and then Ogier is 5. So that's 5 normal summons in the deck, which is really good for consistency. But what this guy does is, on summon, he lets you send a Noble Arms or a Fire Warrior from your deck to your hand. He is part of the 2-card Anti-Nebriu Gear Free combo, which I will showcase you guys in the combo video coming up later this week. When he is equipped, whatever he's equipped to cannot be destroyed by battle, or by card effect, excuse me. So that it's a really cool little interaction you get when you have your Emperor Charles equipped with Ogier and Oliver plus Metal Silver Armor. Nothing can be, it's really good. It's really nasty. It's really cool, if you ask me. But moving on to Super Quantum Red Layer, which in my opinion should just be Infernoble Knight Red Layer. This card is just a Cyber Dragon S card. This card has a lot of utility and allowing us to practically combo off really well. Not only does it allow us to combo off really well, it just allows us to pretty much beat over Winda. That's what I was kind of thinking in my mind right now. It allows us to beat over Winda pretty easy, especially if you play cards like not Infernoble, but Noble Arms Gallatin, which is searchable via Heritage of the Chalice, or you play multiples of it, you side it, practically you use your 1 special summon to summon Red Layer, equipped, whack over Winda, play. But other than that, he is just a special summon He is just a really good extender. Red layer plus this Fire Flint Lady that we're playing here is what allows us to make Isolde without making a normal summon, which is super strong, guys. Which is, I mean, I cannot stress how strong it really is to make Isolde without conducting a normal summon. That's one of the great things this deck really has going for it, is that it's not so much normal summon reliant, because the amount of Fire Extender Warrior extenders we have, we do have the ability to make Isolde without even making like normal summoning, which is really good. But Flint Lady is really good. These two cards are just your fire extenders. I mean, whenever I say like a combo is blank plus Infernoble plus fire extender, normally it's what I'm talking about is Quantal, Fire Flint, or maybe Oliver can fill the purpose of that fire extender. But moving on, we are rocking double Gearfried. I really played this at 3. I did not want to cut this down from 3 to 2, but I had to make space. 44 did not sit right with me. 43 is closer to 40, so that was just better. But also something that I might end up doing, I just got the card in the mail. Actually, I should have went ahead and did it, is I got Harpy's Feather Duster. I might actually end up cutting Gearfried down to 1 and playing Harpy's Feather Duster, just because if you lose to monkeyflip.deck, at least having Harpies in the main deck is a good option to practically, like, you don't lose automatically by they flip in summon limit or they flip and there can be only one. You do have the ability to draw into Harpies. Whereas Gearfried, though, like, is just as good in my opinion. Like, I really like the Gearfried combo. I like having Gearfried on board when I end my turns. However, I think for the sake of consistency, Gearfried might be coming down to 1 here shortly. But I played 2, and Gearfried just will carry games on his back by himself, simply because he has the ability to steal monsters, and then he's a negation. And if you have him equipped with, like, Ogier or Olivier, you're pretty much sitting pretty fine. I'm not going to lie. Because he can't be targeted, he can't be destroyed, and you have the ability to continually steal a monster. It's a card that outs Dragoons, pretty much. And Dragoons is very popular in the format. I don't know why Konami did not hit Dragoons, but Dragoons is still here, and that is a hell of a card that I really despise. So I wanted to have as much access to cards that allow me to out it as possible. So then, moving on, we have the one Gimba. Gimba here is just your Fire Warrior target that you summon off of the your Isolde. You could potentially play Doppel Warrior, which I'll showcase Doppel Warrior combos and all the combos that the combo videos I have coming for this deck. But this right here is our main target. Stick to the game plan, guys. I will not lie to you. I lost a game simply against Zoo Eldritch, game 3, because instead of summoning this, I had the anti-Nibiru combo with Gearfried. Instead of summoning this, I summoned Aqua Dolphin because for some reason I was still scared of hand traps. He had no monsters, no nothing in his hand that I had to be scared of, and because I did that, my board was so lackluster, and instead I should have just summoned Gimba, comboed off, and I would have won. But stick to the game plan, guys. Stick to it. Moving on, we are rocking Connector and Dolphin. Best normal summon the deck has. This, like, the simple fact that this right here lets you look at your opponent's hand, and the thing that I'm going to stress to you guys the most is always, always, always remember what you see in your opponent's hand. When you look at their hand, remember it. Don't just be like, okay, no hand traps, pass on. Remember, so you can construct your board, even if they don't have hand traps or monsters, so you can counter their board. You know what I'm saying? So do that. I was very forgetful last night and forgot they had a Tinky and messed up my plays and fired off Charles before the Tinky, etc. And it cost me the game because Borbo, for some reason, does not activate. And yeah, so always remember that. Hand knowledge is very important. That's why this deck was so strong last format, was because it was able to get hand knowledge via Connector and Smoke Grenade. Moving on, we do have the two bricks of the deck, Colt Wing and Despot 001. As much as they are bricks, they're not total bricks because you can combo without them. Despot 001, thank God Hulk lets us summon from the hand. Colt Wing, you either pitch it and bring it back, or you just carry your Auroradon tokens, just carry a lot more weight on the combo than with having the Colt Wing in your hand. So these two bricks. Interesting fact, somebody would say like Gimba is a brick here. And how do you get Gimba? If you open Gimba, you just summon Fire Flint Lady off the Isolde, and then use Flint Lady, tribute itself, summon Gimba from your hand. That is why Gimba is not per se a brick, because you have ways to get it out of your hand. But moving on to the hand trap lineup, we still are rocking 3 Ash. Ash is just overall really good against all the decks that currently exist. Virtual World, Dragon Link, Zoo, Eldritch, a Nadir Servant. Especially, I despise Dragoons. I refuse to lose to a Red Ice Fusion, so I always hold this. card, especially if I play against Guru, because get your Guru search, get everything else, but by God, if you activate Red Eyes Fusion, then I'm going to Ash that, because Dragoons is pretty rough. But anyway, 3 Ash, and then I am playing the Gamma package. I have a love-hate relationship with this package. I've always liked this package. I've always thought this was a great... You see it getting a lot of play in other competitive channels and stuff like that. However, I've always had such a bad history with this hand trap, as in the sense of I never truly see driver all the time. It's been once in a while you see driver, but that is, that's expected. You're going to see driver. But when I didn't see driver, I'd always see gamma, and my opponent would never do anything. So this card would just sit in my hand and do nothing. And it just would drive me nuts. I was getting so sick and tired of it. But with probably the best combo deck in the format being Bird Up, you do have to have something more than Ash to kind of counter it. So the goal is to open Ash and Gamma, or to open just Gamma. Is such a high impact card that you got to play it. I mean, if you just sit there and let your opponent summon the Wind Spirit statue, you're going to lose. So you might as well have something. And that goes for a lot of other decks and stuff like that. I remember playing against Guru. He flipped Guru. I Gamma'd, destroyed the Guru. He attempted Red Eyes Fusion. I Ashed the Fusion, and then I proceeded to win the game from there. I should have possibly another Guru match from that locals. I had to play Guru quite a bit at Core, which really sucked. But I should have the other Guru match where I got bodied again coming up. But yep, so it's just kind of up to your personal preference. I do think that you should probably play another hand trap, whether it be Impermanence, whether it be Effect Veiler, your choice. But I do believe 6 is like the probable number that you should probably play. If you do happen to open driver, you do have the ability to pitch it with DDR. You have the ability to pitch it with Barricade Board Blocker. You just name it. You have the ability to get rid of it. So not totally useless. There is some utility out of it, but moving on, 3 Heritage of the Chalice. This is why this deck is super consistent. Not only do we have reinforcement of the army, we have our own reinforcement army. And not only does it search out our monsters, it searches out our Durandal, which searches out our monsters, which is crazy. Do remember, guys, that this right here, if your Noble Knight is destroyed by battle, you can add it back. So when you're in those simplified game states, Chalice can come up. So do remember that. This card is what allows this deck to be so consistent. That's why like the 2-card Gearfried combo is very attainable, because you are technically playing like 6, 9, or like X amount of compies. So technically speaking, Heritage of Chalice and then Durandal here is like counts as copies of any Fire Warrior you want. So like Ogier at 1 is fine, because technically you're playing Ogier at 7. It's just that's the technicality behind it. You play 2 Fire Flint Lady because technically speaking you're playing 5 Fire Flint Lady. Actually, you're playing 6 Fire Flint Lady because of reinforcements of the army. So, same with Red Layer. You're technically playing 6 Red Layer. That's why this deck is super consistent in what it does. But moving on to the equip spells, we are rocking triple Durandal. Durandal here is remarkable. I was actually quite surprised that Joyous was not this card, or had this card effect, because Joyous is Charles' sword. This is Roland's sword. But I do have Joyous because I've been wanting to test it out. However, I wish Joyous wasn't not a monster warrior returning alive. It was a monster board. That would make it instantly a 2 to 3 up in my opinion. However, it is not, so I haven't found the time to test it, because we got to have those really good, or the equip spells are already inherently bricks if you open multiple, so you have to already have like high impact equip spells to be able to do your thing. But Durandal, it allows you to destroy itself and add any level 5 or lower fire warrior. Triple Living Fossil, and then 2 DDR Reincarnation. These 2 can be interchanged depending on personal preference. If you want to play 3 DDR and 2 Living Fossil, you can. It's just you're reliant on Phoenix Blade to banish the Gimba to combo off, which is fine as well. I just went this route because I just felt like Living Fossil, bringing it back, just kind of, you didn't have to worry about them losing to Lancia, kind of. So that's why I play this ratio. This card is a complete blowout card. You get to utilize so many aspects of like Roland. You can like link off Charles, banish Charles for Phoenix Blade, bring back Charles, and then it's pretty good, which it does happen in the feature match, which I will hopefully show coming this weekend, I think. I do have a box tournament coming up this Sunday, which I will be participating in, so hopefully we'll have a local report for that, or like a local vlog for that as well. But for the final 2 equips, we are rocking Metal Silver and Phoenix Blade. Metal Silver Armor is like, these 2 are probably the worst equip spells to see in your hand. Every other equip spell is potentially an extender, but these 2 are probably the worst. But it's okay, because a lot of your cards, especially like Oliver, lets you pitch these cards, or worst case, you can equip them to like your Isolde before you link it off and then get it to the graveyard, which is fine. But Metal Silver Armor is like a complete blowout card against so many decks. Like, you equip this to Charles equipped with Oliver, or excuse me, Olivier. Olivier, you're practically, it's a soft lock that your opponent's going to struggle to break, because a lot of things in the game target, and a lot of things like target themselves or target other cards your opponent or your opponent will control. And hate to say it, but this says no targeting. So this says you have to target Charles, and Oliver says you can't target Charles, so it's pretty cool. But that's it for the equip spells. Moving on, we are rocking Reborn and Reinforcements of the Army. Not much more to be said. This is every card in your deck but Gearfried and Red Layer. And Monster Reborn is a superior extender that allows us to play through hand traps and or establish a better board. Played against Emancipator, had to steal their own turn to make Hulk. Walked right into a nib, but you know, it is what it is. But that is a utility of Reborn, being able to steal your opponent's monsters as well. But that is it for the main deck, 43 cards. We'll go ahead and jump on into the extra deck here, which I will showcase you guys what has changed and what will change. So we are rocking double Isolde. Nothing really has changed here except for I upgraded to the ultra rares, which is super cool. And then after the Isolde, we are rocking Hulk. I kind of very little bit want to play 2 Hulks because my Hulk did get gamut, and I would have had the ability to make a second Hulk and combo off. So like that does come up. That thought has popped in my mind, but I don't know if I'll pursue it or not. But 1 Hulk, 1 board blocker. A board blocker is just here to link off to make extra space, and then you turn board blocker and Hulk into the big silly plane here, Auroradon. So as long I foresee Halifibrex living indefinitely in the game. I don't really think that we'll see it go away. Auroradon is in the question. There's not a lot of Auroradon decks out there doing everything, and that is what was different from the OCG and stuff like that, is that practically once the Banlist came through, this is the only deck that is using Auroradon, and we're not even considered a contender. So it might just take the right format to change whether we come back, but until then, 1 Auroradon, it's your token generator. 1 Nightmare Unicorn. Now this is a very interesting, if you guys don't know, if you just resolve Isolde here, you will get to Charles and Harold. That will be shown in the combo video coming up, as I've said previously. But most importantly, if you also resolve Isolde, you get practically a free Unicorn pitch, like a Unicorn spin back for free. And going into games, or not games, a turn 3 or turn 2, that can be very useful for getting rid of problematic cards. Especially since, you know, like you summon Isolde Search, there's a free discard or a free follow-up. You use Dump Phoenix Blade, you banish the 2 warriors that you used to make Isolde, get Phoenix Blade. You use the monster you summoned off of Isolde and Isolde to make Nightmare Unicorn. Either pitch the card you search or pitch the Phoenix Blade from your hand. And you've solved a monster, and then you summon Tuner Extender from hand, which hopefully you have, make Hulk combo. Pretty easy. And then I played 1 Borolo Dragon. This should be access code. Sorry guys, I've been waiting to go to locals to see if they have one, and I'm going to this box tournament. So if they don't have this box tournament, I am going to order one. My last profile, local report, this was the Underworld Goddess. Now, shout out to the Cali Effect. He was doing a Salamangreat video, and he said if you don't have access code, just play this guy. So I threw this guy in last minute, and you will see in the feature match that is essentially how I beat Dragoons. He leaves me a board of monsters with he has 1 Dragoon. I end up making Borreload. Borreload is big enough to smack into Dragoon, crash the Dragoon. Mystic Mine dies because he did Mystic Mine me. That's why I had to go all the way into this. Otherwise, Charles and Gearfree would have solved that Dragoons. But Mystic Mine is a coward card, if you ask me. But, yep, that is it for the Synchros. I do not think this right here, I would say, you know what, guys, I will say, this is a good budget replacement for access code, if you ask me. Because I could have stole the Dragoons, but it wouldn't do me any good. But anyway, moving on. 1 Charles, 1 Roland. I really contemplated playing the Oliver, the Captain Oliver, I think, but I don't think he's necessary. I don't think you have to. There's no need to play him. If you need an additional 5, play Hyper Librarian. Hyper Librarian will get you that draw, which you can get like 1 to 2 draws if you plan correctly. And the Doppel Warrior combo, they are strings you can take to get to your Hyper Librarian before, and you get like 2 to 3 draws, which is crazy. Because in the Doppelganger combo, you do have access to Metal Marcher, so. But that is it there. Moving on, we have the 1 Herald, 1 Quandax, 1 Balmug. These 2 are necessary. We are one of the only few decks that can play Herald, and that is why the only card we truly kind of fear is Dark Ruler No More, because if we make Herald, they can't droplets us, so we have to fear the Dark Ruler No More. And most of the time, if you end like with Charles, because Charles will let you get the metal... Roland will dump the Metal Silver Armor, Charles will equip the Metal Silver Armor, and then Olivier. They can't even target your stuff with the Forbidden Droplets anyway. But anyway, these 2 cards are part of the combo. This is like you finish on this. You also can make this before your 5th summon, or you can make this before you make Hulk or Isolde, which means if they have impermanence, you're pretty fine. Balmung here is part of the combo. You pop this with Charles, bring back the Cult Wing combo into Herald and Savage that way. Quandax was in here for this weird scenario where when I had free tokens and stuff like that, and a Fire Warrior extender, I could end on this right here, and if they decided to go into battle phase, they decided to do something with Herald that I could not negate or stop, Quandax could use its effect to Synchro Summon the Herald and itself into either Omega or a Savage if I did not get it up. But after testing, after playing, Quandax is definitely going to become the shooting Riser Dragon because the level manipulation is just way better, in my opinion. It's just way better. Being able to fix the levels to what you need to be able to summon is just way better than just making this and only being stuck to make 8s, because sometimes in some combo strings I could make this and I couldn't do really much anything else, where if it was shooting Riser Dragon, I could manipulate its level and still put out a Charles, which was something that I really wanted to do. But so Quandax will become shooting Riser Dragon this weekend. One power tool. I don't play 2, no need to play 2, not much should be said. Anyway, because Power Tool is just remarkable, you can Monster Reborn back the Power Tool and use its effect again because this card is old and not once per turn. It lets you practically grab an equip spell from your deck at random, but you mostly reveal the same equip spell that you have, and then your opponent gives you Living Fossil, Durandal, and stuff like that. For 8s, the 1 Savage and the 1 Omega. Savage is here because it is the Omnia Gate you want to end on, and then Cypher Lord Omega is pretty good because depending on like your hand, if you open Connector or like Connector plus Extender is like a hand rip for 2. If you do that, that's a hand rip for 2. And then if you happen to open any level 1 tuner, you do have the ability to Extender. Let me specify that. You do have the ability to make Omega and then loop 2 more cards. So like most of the time you're going to just make Omega. You'll have Charles and Herald. Omega will rip 2 more cards. So your opponent will be down to 1 card in hand. Let me get the 4. There we go. We'll be down to 1 card in hand. They're drawing a card. You can negate one of their cards with the Herald, and you can also pop whatever card they have with Charles, so it's pretty good. Now, with that also being said, if you happen to not open very well, you can rip, you sometimes can make Omega and then have Herald, Charles, Savage, and Omega, and you can rip 1 or 3 cards from your opponent's hand in that same combo. But in that case, it's still the same scenario where you're able to negate 2 cards in the hand with Herald and Savage and pop the other with Charles, which is really good. But that is it for the deck profile. I will quickly, these are my tokens, not much can be said. I will quickly throw down my side deck and explain to you guys what will change. My side deck performed very phenomenally, however, I'll showcase you. Lancia, because you fear Dino, fear Tri-Brigade, not much more can be said. Cosmic Cyclone, this card is going to change for multiple reasons. If I'm side decking Lancia and I'm forced to put in Cosmic Cyclone with Lancia, and I Lancia or they Lancia me, Cyclone's dead, and I don't want that. So this will probably become Twin Twisters, or the Titty Twisters, for lack of better terms than its actual name, is the Titty Twisters, because Lightning Storms are pretty expensive. After last night's brutal butt whooping, I had them in my cart, and then realization hit me that they're like $300 for a playset, if not like a little bit more than $300, and I was like, nah, I'll just play Twin Twisters. Until then, I will be cutting this and playing the 10 Twin Twisters, because I opened 2 Cyclones and it was not enough, and that's just... That's crazy. Back row decks or monkey decks are crazy, man. Dark Ruler no more, because in case you play other combo decks, you want to have the ability to break their board. We are rocking 3 Gamma-Seal. This right here should be the Wind Kaiju, but I'll be damned if I'm paying $10 for a rare. So it'll probably get an OTS Super, so I'll wait around till then, or until I'm forced to. But Bird Up, even though like Bird Up is probably the best combo deck that's existing currently, it is still being drowned out by the monkey decks out there, but... Triple Judgment's in here for like that game 3 when you go first, so you can stop those blowout cards from even affecting you. So, yep. So guys, that is my side deck right there. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please stay tuned for the combo video. Other than that, I really don't have anything else much to say, guys. Like I said, get your mats today. Hit that join button. Stay safe. Stay healthy. Happy crusading. Charles signing out.